Week 1 is in the books of the Browns training camp, and if you missed anything, G. Bush, any Ultimate Browns got you covered. We will do a rewind of everything that you missed in Week 1. We'll hear from Kevin Stefanski. We'll hear from offensive line coach Andy Dickerson, and we'll hear from rookie Zack Zinter. It's all coming up on this episode of the Ultimate Browns. Welcome to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. It's the Ultimate Browns. I'm your host, G. Bush, right here on the UCSS network. We got the week that was. Week number 1 is in the books, boys and girls, and Browns training camp is off to a roaring success at the Greenbrier down in West Virginia. Today, we got a show that is planned to give you everything that you missed. In case you missed it, what happened last week with the Cleveland Browns, and we'll hear from Zack Zinter, rookie guard from University of Michigan. It's his first training camp. We'll have him hear some sights and sounds and hear what he went through in the first week and looking to contribute for the Cleveland Browns this year. Also, new coaching staff. We know about Dorsey. We know about Ken Dorsey. We know about some of the other guys, but a big missing part, or big, part of our offensive line was Bill Callahan, who's no longer here, is in Tennessee, and his replacement, Andy Dickerson, is not a new pup. He's been here before. We'll go behind the scenes with Andy Dickerson in his training camp here with the Browns in 2024. But before we can get to any of that, Coach Kevin Stefanski was mic'd up at practice, and you could just tell. You could just tell Coach Stefanski knows that he got a nice squad. You know, he knows he has veterans. He knows Deshaun Watson is looking great. He knows that Nick Chubb is ahead of schedule. And he's just out there being his cool, calm, collected self, just coaching, touching everybody, and just being a head coach going around, just seeing what everybody is doing. I think that's one of the reasons why Kevin Stefanski has been Coach of the Year twice, is because he's a guy that gets the most out of his guys, and he's a guy that is a really player's coach, and he's doing a great job of ramping things up slowly. I'll come back and talk to you about why that's so important. But first, let's take a look at what Kevin Stefanski has been doing behind the scenes at the Greenbrier.
Good eyes, good eyes, good eyes. He'll never get there, Sid. He goes outside. Unless you just don't touch him, he won't get there. Right? So stay square. Good job, good job, good job. Ready to roll? All right, Chris. I'm great. How's Shelby doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Never had a bad day. How's Q?
I'm doing great.
Yeah? You ever been to West Virginia?
Don't do it. I'm from Pittsburgh. That's right there.
Down south, yeah. Shelby? First time?
First, maybe the last.
Wait till you open the door to your hotel room and you see the wallpaper. I mean, it is beautiful here. Yeah. It's not going to be too bad. It'll heat up a little bit. Dale, you ready to roll? All right, brother. Let's work, fellas. Let's work. Get that plane ride out of you. Let's go, Wyatt. Pitch and catch, fellas. Pitch and catch. Good hustle, Braves. Good spot. Yeah, find him. Good. Spot, good spot. Good. Good work, fellas. Good work. Lock in, fellas. Lock in. Oh, Braves.
All right, here we go.
Good. Good feet, 5. Good feet.
Good operation, 5.
Oh, boy. Run. On the ball. Stay square, Mike. Mike, always stay square on the perimeter. Because if you go like this, you're telling the receiver he's got one place to go. You go like this, now he can dip inside and go outside. I love these plays. Good.
Hey.
Oh, great idea.
Oh, love it.
Oh!
Pause out there.
Anybody know where the nearest pawn shop is?
Probably a few out here.
What do you think we could get for
Is
it?
there diamonds in there?
Yeah. What do you think? A grand? A couple grand?
It depends if it's real or fake, though.
Go on. Some of your teammates wanted me to take this to the pawn shop. I said I would never do that to you. Go score, Mike, go score, Mike. Good job, Joel. All right, hey, listen up. Hey, fellas, down here we have a get-to mentality. We get to practice. We get to come down here to West Virginia, just us, under one roof, all right? We get to work, and I appreciate how you work, all right? So we got off that airplane, got that plane right out of us. Tomorrow, we're gonna ramp it up a little bit more, okay? But focus is I get to work when I'm down here. I get to. That's our mentality. That's how we operate.
And that was courtesy of the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, man. You know, that brings back such great memories. That brings back such great memories. You know, the best thing about playing, people always tell people all the time, man, like, you know, they say, do you consider Tyvis jokes and says, hey, do you consider yourself to be a media member? And Tyvis always says no. And, you know, I could see where, you know, he comes from. I only played in college, but, you know, to get down there, like, it just reminds me, everybody that has always played sports knows what that feeling is. You got a biological clock. It takes if you've done two-a-days before, if you played at college, you played in the pros, you know what camp is about, man. And Kevin Stefanski just said it there, man. A lot of times the teams that get down there that don't want to be there and they want to make it through camp, that's not what the mentality is. We want to appreciate the fact that we get to practice. Like, we have a chance, an opportunity to put that helmet on. We still got a chance, an opportunity to play the game that we really know and love. And for a lot of individuals that have never done that, it's something special, because, you know, the bond you built with those guys down there at practice is something that you never forget. While you're in it, yes, it's a grind. While you're in it, yes, it's tough on your body. And sometimes, to be frank, you don't want to be doing it. But when you're done and you don't have any more snaps left in you, you just wish that you can get a couple of more days to be under one roof with your teammates and playing video games and shooting the crap and, you know, just running around laughing and joking, having a good time, putting that work in and just building that camaraderie. And so that's a big part of what camp is. And I think the teams that can focus in on and block this stuff out, like the heat and the nagging injuries and the film work and all that other good stuff, I think those are the teams that are going to be the most successful. And you can just tell the Browns have a little bit of a pep in their step, because there's a lot of guys that were out and didn't play last year or missed some of the significant time, playing time last year, that now get an opportunity to make things right and make amends and to put some good stuff on film and to put some stuff on tape, man. So some of the takeaways that I get from, and I've heard a lot of it, is, you know, we make jokes and fun about this with Elijah Moore, but Elijah Moore, once again, in this camp looked good. And I think there might be a difference this year between this year and last year's, because this is a contract year for him. And when you look at the Cleveland Browns, there's a lot of guys that are on last year deals. Essentially, Mari Cooper's on a last year deal. Jed Wills is a guy who's on a last year deal. Greg Newsome is on a last year deal with the 2 5th years. You also got to take a look at Elijah Moore as one of those guys as well, who does not have any more guaranteed money. Deshaun Watson is under the bullseye, so to speak, because he doesn't have, and he's not like his contract is up, but we already know what the expectations is from him, and we talked about it. Nick Chubb is coming back from injury. You know what his determination looked like. And by the way, Nick Chubb, I'm going to tell you something. All the people that's been down there and have been hitting me up, texting me, it's like, this dude Nick Chubb look like ain't nothing wrong with him. He looked like he's trying to play week 1. He out here running full speed. He ain't cutting or nothing, but from what I'm hearing, Nick Chubb is down there looking great. Like, ain't nothing ever happened to him. Like, this dude is down there way ahead of schedule. So I would expect to see Nick Chubb. And I've been a guy who said before, pump your brakes, take it slow. But he's down there looking like he's focused, ready to go. He looked like he lathered up early. So that might be something you'll be talking about too. But yeah, man, the team energy is different. And I talked a little bit about the last time. I like the Deshaun Watson energy, by the way. I love it. You know, I love the Deshaun Watson energy. I want people to be plugged in and dialed in. You know what I'm saying? We plugged in and dialed in. We ain't worried about what nothing happened last year, the year before that. That's why you get away from different things like that. That's why you get in there and get focused and locked in. I like the chip on your shoulder, Deshaun Watson down there ready to go to prove something. All that laughing and joking, you leave that to the people on the outside. I like the focus level that you got down there with Kevin Stefanski in the video. You heard him say, I like that play right there. I love this play. You say, yeah, I know. That's one of them plays where when you get in the huddle, you be like, all right, boys, this is 7 right here. We've been setting this up all quarter. We've been setting this up for 2 weeks. This is touchdown. Let's go get this food. Like, I'll be fired up, ready to go, man. Like, this is the best. This is why this is the best part of the year for me. It's time to put all the media stuff aside, bro. We talk about breaking down these games. It's blocking and tackling. It's down to, this is primal instinct right now. This is the type of year, it ain't no time for you half-stepping and twinkle-toeing around, talking about these fluffy stories. We talking about the X's and O's, the meat and potatoes right here. That's why I like playing. That's why I got into this game. I thought, now, granted, you got to be a showman. You got to be a showman sometime, but I got into this game to talk about what's going on that field. And right now, what's going on in that field is looking quite good. Let me tell you something, right? They got this little mix of pro-style offense mixed with a little college. They got mixed direction. They giving you vertical concepts, man. Listen, it's new energy out there. And speaking of new energy, when we get back, we'll talk about Andy Dickerson. I like that energy he's bringing. Sometimes it's good to have new energy. Bill Callahan is one of the best in the business. Put some respect on his name. But I'm going to tell you what. I like what Andy Dickerson is bringing to the table. New Browns offensive line coach. You're going to get a chance to meet him up here next. It's right here on the Ultimate Browns. Do you want to check out the hottest team in Major League Baseball, the Cleveland Guardians? Well, the Game Time app makes it simple. Game Time is the authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting those third base seats easier and more affordable. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from every seat in the house, and the lowest prices guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets. What I love most about the Game Time app is the flash deal and the zone deals. It also makes it easy to get tickets for every kind of event in your area. Take the guesswork out of buying Major League tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code word locked on for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code locked on, LOCKEDON, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Welcome back to the fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. It's your boy G. Bush. We're talking about the week that was. Week 1 of the Browns is now in the books down at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. And G. Bush has to break it down. We're keeping you in close contact with what's going on, everything with the Browns. And to do that, we got some more. We got some more footage courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. And this is of Andy Dickerson, offensive line coach of the Cleveland Browns, taking over for legend Bill Callahan. And I'm going to tell you what, I like his energy. He's bringing that new energy, and it's something to be said about new energy and having a new voice in your ear. And I think that the Browns offensive line will actually respond positively to this new voice.
Jog it over, our area, jog it over. Big man jog, big man jog. Big man jog, big man jog. Here we go, 2-0 line, 2-0 line, 2-0 line. 2-0 line, 2-0 line. Make sure we got bodies on D. Just trust that guy, you push through that guy because the back's gonna be in your head.
I'm gonna do your hair like
What? You like that? It's way cooler right now.
Like you. I'm going to be honest about you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you with your hat off.
I got it on today because it's kind of chapped up there.
And they literally have to jog all the way to the goal line and then run. Hey, let's some water ready for the boys. Let's some water ready for the boys. 100. Yeah! Water is available. Who loves the fact that you have to touch the other goal line, then run 100 yards? You got the thing, you got the shield back on? Is it gonna fog again, or they got it straight? Grab some water, grab some water. And again, we're gonna do the same thing, right? I want to really hit the ball, snap hands, charge it! Boom, there it is. Drive the back knee when you fit. Here we go. We got time. Turn set. Get there. North. Crowd him a little bit, BA. Crowd him just a little bit more, BA. There we go. On the turbo. Turn set. Get vertical. Good. Turn set. Get vertical. How fast can you get your hands up? No wind up. Turn set. Get there, Zack. Go. Back knee. There we go. Good. Here we go. Wide up. Turn set. Good. Play with length. Really look at where that point is, Wyatt. Look at really that point and push. Yes, sir.
When he chips it and I come across, do you want me to reach this guy?
Nope. I want you to drive him right on the angle because I'd love for it. Again, he turns it. This guy's sideways. I want you just to do this because that ball is getting back there. Good. Hard right. There we go. Good. Here we go. I love when you play with your length, Roy. You're just that much faster and that much bigger. It's awesome. Yeah, Zack. Here we go. And again, he disappears because you didn't. If your eyes went with him, you'd be here. You let him go and you stayed in your framework on your angle. Beautiful. There you go. Little joggy jog, big man shuffle. Oh, yes, sir. Good, there you go, good. Get back, there we go. Nice. Again, I love that. Good, done. Good set. Aggressive to the 60-40. All day, James, all day.
And that was courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. And you hear Coach Andy Dickerson just bringing that new youthful exuberance, man. Just, getting after the guys. Hey, let's run a big man jog. Everybody know what the big man jog is. You're getting that in, man. You're just feeling good about yourself. Just trying to get Joe Batonio a little older. Wyatt Teller a little older. Just getting the joints lathered up, moved around, oiled up. And, the great thing about what I like to see there, and I thought he did some really, as a guy, a resident big man myself, I thought he was really teaching how to climb to the next level. And I liked the way he taught that, man. Before, back in the day, it was all about reach blocking somebody and taking those lateral steps and trying to get across the face mask of one of those defensive ends to cut them off. Nowadays, what they're doing is they're just using your body leverage and using your momentum to get you out of the play. Now we're not trying to reach you. We'll just drive you that way, right? If you want to go that way, fine. We'll just drive you that way. That ball is going to cut back right on your backside. So, you want to drive them at an angle. Wherever they want to go, we're going to drive you right up out of there. So, and for me, sometimes when you get a new voice, and I know people may have thought that Bill Callahan was going to be a major issue. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. You got veterans up front that have soaked up some of that knowledge from Coach Callahan. You guys got guys that have been up there with him for a lot of time. So as a defensive lineman and an offensive lineman, I think a lot of people don't really understand is those guys are like elephants. And what do you mean? The thing is, elephants don't really actually forget anything, right? People say elephants have really great memories, right? They can remember you, guys or handlers or people or different faces for years beyond since the last time they've seen them. So I kind of say the same thing about offensive and defensive linemen, man. Like the little small nuances of the game that you get taught by other defensive linemen, other veterans, that don't leave you. You just keep that and put that in your Rolodex. That's your book of business right there. That's your little magic book. You get them down, right, little tools and tricks down, and you don't never forget it. It's like, how your grandparents and certain people, they never forgot how to write no recipes down. What you talk about? They never wrote anything. Them recipes was in here, trial and error, grained into their DNA. Same way your grandfather just knew how to. You ever see somebody that just know how to work a car? Just know how to fix a car? You'd be like, dang. You'd be like, yeah, my car ain't working. He'd be like, what is it doing? You'd be like, well, it didn't start the other day. Okay. When you turned it over, did it click or did it just go or did it go did it sound like it was going? I'm like, well, it was more of like okay. Yeah, is it cold? Hey, it was kind of cold last night. I think you got a dead battery cell. It ain't your starter, you know what I'm saying? It could be your alternator, your starter, or your battery. And you'd be like, dang, how you know that? And when you're young, you just be like, how did you know that? It'd be like some what kind of sorcery is this, right? And offensive linemen are kind of like that. When Bill Callahan teach you something, you put that in your Rolodex. Joe Batonio still got that in his back pocket. Wyatt Teller still got that. Ethan Poacher still got it. And so that's why, it's important. Now you got that stuff and you mix it with some new vibes, some new energy, right? A new way of thinking about certain things and a new fresh set of eyes on some older plays. that's why I think you can be invigorated up front. And I think the Browns offensive line can get back to a different point because they've been running some of the same stuff forever. Now you can actively engage them with some new concepts, some new plays, some new different things you're doing up front. And then they can take that old stuff that they've been using with Bill Callahan and incorporate it into new schemes where now you can't sit on the Browns like that. One of the things that I've looked at a lot with the Cleveland Browns over the last couple of years is a lot of people was playing the play, man. They know that the Cleveland Browns, was running certain plays. They knew that the Cleveland Browns had certain concepts that they like to run. It was very basic. It was very, it was very rudimentary. I'll say that. And so now they were to give them credit. Kevin Stefanski was with 5 quarterbacks and a rudimentary offense in terms of the diversification of the stuff that they was running at a high level. They were still getting it done with rudimentary styles and quarterbacks that was not elite. Can you imagine that? You don't even have Nick Chubb. So what can you imagine when you get a guy like Deshaun Watson that can make all the throws and extend plays? You got Nick Chubb back. You got a nice plethora of other people. And now guys can't sit on the line of scrimmage and be like, I know what's coming. Nah, they got a whole nother different thought process now. And that's why I like the energy level of Andy Dickerson. I think the Browns are going to still continue to play at a high level, and I still think he's going to be able to give them a different perspective up front, and the Browns will add the best of both worlds, the old with the new. And by the way, a lot of people don't really understand this either. Let's take a look at this. Andy Dickerson been here before. This will be his 3rd year with the Browns. It's not as if he wasn't in an organization. He rejoined the Browns as offensive line coach this year after initially spending 2 years with the team in 2009, 2010, including serving as assistant offensive line coach in 2010. This is his 19th season, so he's not a young guy. He got some experience. You see the afro, I like it. And you see Jimmy Haslam say, what the way kind? Shout out to Jimmy Haslam for asking questions. He said, where did you get these things up top, these little dreads? He was like, listen, it's much cooler with this on, man. I ain't got the afro in there. So shout out to him. He spent his last 3 seasons with Seattle. First as a run coordinator in 2021 and then offensive line coach in 2022 to 2023. During his 3 seasons in Seattle, the Seahawks ranked 4th in the NFL with 4.67 rush yards average. And under his tutelage, under his watch, Dwayne Brown was named to the Pro Bowl in 2021. His offensive line protected Geno Smith, who made the Pro Bowl in 2022 and 2023, and Russell Wilson, who made it in 2021. So he comes from a very, I would say, he comes from a solid background. He's been here with the organization before, knows what to expect, knows what he's doing, and I expect him to continue to do a really nice job here with the Cleveland Browns. We got 2 segments down, 1 to go. When we get back, Zack Zinter, we'll stay with the offensive line. We'll talk about Zack Zinter, and we'll show him how he's faring in his first training camp with the Cleveland Browns. We'll do that coming back next. It's G. Bush right here on the Ultimate Browns. Well, let's talk about it, man. One of the best baseball blogs in all of the internet. You're talking about the Ultimate Guardian, Zach Meisel, Adam Nabull. Shout out to Adam Nabull. He was actually out in Seattle right now, and he pulled up, and somebody was like, yo, I recognize Adam Nabull. Hey, he was like, yo, G. Bush, what's going on, man? Like, so Bull put the guy back on with FaceTime all the way out in Seattle. So that's a testament to how great the show has been going and a testament to how enthusiastic our fans are. Make sure you check out Ultimate Guardians. That's going to be on twice a week moving forward throughout the rest of the season. So you guys want to check that out. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of those notifications for Ultimate Guardians. Ultimate Cavs right now, man. Summer League just finished up. Jalen Tyson doing his thing. Before you know it, training camp will be coming around. Subscribe to the Ultimate Cavaliers and Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show so you know when that's coming on. Jason Lloyd and Mikey McNuggets doing a good job together with that. You got Earl the Pearl, Ultimate 216, mix of sports and culture. That's once a week. Make sure you check that out so you can definitely check out Earl the Pearl during the rest of the year. Ultimate 216 is definitely a thing that you need to be checking out. And of course, come on now, Steve Bush. I mean, it is your boy, man. Twice a week, Ultimate Browns here. Football season get kicked up. You don't want to miss it, man. We got all the great characters coming up. You see Earl over here. Tyvus is on the show. Quincy Carrier is a contributor on the show. Yeah, Quincy, I owe you your 20. Stefanski's calling the play. So we'll get to that, man. We'll get to that, man. So make sure you guys check that out right here on the UCSS network. Well, let's get back off to it. Fastest 30 minutes in all the sports. It's the Ultimate Browns. Zack Zinter, first training camp with the Cleveland Browns. He was mic'd up and going through practice. We'll see what Zack Zinter's thoughts was on the training camp. And I'll come back and tell you why you might see him contribute this year, even though we got a really, really solid offensive line.
Here we go. I honestly forget I am half the time. Try to take like the 3 tech on the outside because keep right. I thought he was gonna roll to the right, but he kind of just stayed in the pocket.
Yeah, so he's setting up over the tackle, maybe a little outside.
So I just need to shoe set him damn near?
Shoe set him and then invite him inside.
I don't rush. You feel me? You stay, right? You're the rat killer. And then he gets out, he becomes you.
Yep.
180. What's up?
How you doing, Zack?
Good.
Anything too crazy? Welcome to the league moment?
Nothing crazy.
Good push initially, right? But that guy plays back, trying to get a cut, right? You're doing
So I need to just
yeah, because you're going. Hey, I'm looking at him. He goes back. My eyes should take me back this way.
Yeah.
It's going to be an immediate cut, but just to get that backside.
Okay. I feel like this bat's slippery as trying to hold it from going up.
Appreciate you guys. Here we go. O-line on 3.
Again, that was courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. Shout out to them. That just goes to show you just how difficult it is to play offensive line. Like every time that you line up, the defense is moving and shifting and doing different things. And as an offensive lineman, every time you move, that's another assignment that you got to take and kind of figure it out and feel out. Because every time somebody lines up, you could potentially have a different assignment based on what gap they're lined in, based in what movement you got, based in, whether it's a double team, whether you're trying to cut people off. So I think that's one of the things that really stops younger linemen from being able to contribute early, especially when you do a lot of different things in terms of the offensive line calls. And the good thing about it, Zack Zinter is sitting up underneath 2 of the best guards that are done in the league. When you look at Wyatt Teller and you look at Joe Bitonio, he has an opportunity to pick their brains. And remember what I said last segment, when you got Bill Callahan and when you got guys like that, they're going to be able to pass some of that knowledge on to, from that. And I thought it did a great job of showing Zack Zinter going to Wyatt Teller saying, hey, look, man, I thought I was going to see this, but I ended up seeing this. What do I do in that circumstance, right? And Wyatt Teller has been a great guy to do that. DeJuan Jones was able to play, and I believe he was able to play at a high level because, Wyatt Teller was letting them know, okay, who do I got on this play? Who do I have on this play? Hey, if he does this, this is what you do. And so it's great to have 2 mentors like that. But I actually think that, when you look at it, and it's just, I'm not hoping there are injuries on anybody, but, Wyatt Teller and Joe Bitonio, they played a lot of games last year injured. They played a lot of games where they were banged up, beat up. And, when you get a guy like Zack Zinter, who's going to be able to fill in on some of those plays, fill in, I would not be surprised if you see him get some minutes, right? He comes from a running team, which is very rare. And the reason I think he could contribute earlier is you don't see very many teams like Michigan was last year. Michigan is a team that is going to run the football. Michigan is going to be a powerhouse. Michigan going to run right at you. They're going to run the gap schemes. They're going to run the down block. They're going to run the pull and pin. They're going to run the zones. They're going to run everything that you think you can run up front as an offensive lineman. And under Harbaugh, that's what they did. And usually teams are running the spread and spreading people out and receivers and being cute. Michigan is one of those teams that really bring that hard hat and bring that run game to the table. And I think that translates very nicely to what the Cleveland Browns are going to do because it's some of the same concepts, high-level offensive line play. And so he comes from that, and I think he's going to be able to contribute with that. I wouldn't be surprised to see him spell and be in some of those games. And the great part about it is when you start to have depth pieces, I think you're going to see Mike Hall Jr. and Zack Zinter play a lot in the preseason. Coach Stefanski and the theme of this training camp is, and I think he's done a tremendous job of doing this traditionally, is he ramps his guys up. And a lot of coaches make mistakes by not knowing their team, not knowing the age of their team. And I think what happens is we start to consistently think that the Cleveland Browns are just a young team because we've been with those Cleveland Browns throughout the entire process, right? We were there when they drafted David Njoku. We were there when we drafted Myles Garrett. We were there when we drafted Nick Chubb. These are guys that are now gone from being rookies to young guys to contributors to the best people, the best guys in their position in the league. Now they're getting towards the age where they're veterans and they're, getting to the end of their career. I remember when they drafted Joe Bitonio and Denzel Ward and some of these guys. So these guys ain't no young. We're not a young team anymore. So Coach Stefanski understands that you got to bring these guys along a little bit slower, ramp them up. Our goal is to have our best players playing their best football at the end of the season in the 17 weeks. So when it comes to the preseason stuff, I've been on record. I'm not trying to see none of these veterans out there playing get yourself warmed up during the regular season. Get yourself warmed up. Now, granted, you're going to have to do that and hit the ground running, but I'd rather see my guys make it to games that count than burning them out in the preseason. So you're going to see a lot of young guys. You're going to see the Cedric Tillmans, the Zack Zinters. You're going to see the Mike Hall Juniors. You're going to get an opportunity to see guys like Greg Newsome is out. You're going to get a chance to see Cameron Mitchell out there at corner. So I'm all for it. Let me see some of these young boys. Let me see some of these depth pieces, and I'm going to keep my dudes safe and sound tucked away in styrofoam. With that being said, G. Bush is always safe and sound tucked in styrofoam because I don't go nowhere. It's crazy outside. With that being said, you never know where you're going to find me. Radio, television, internet. I'm all over the place when it comes to that content and can continue to look for more of it because that's what we got coming. And with that being said, have a great rest of your evening and go Browns.